Narrator, Seattle, 1994. The rain in this city has a way of washing away secrets, but tonight, it only uncovers them. Deep within a waterlogged alleyway in the industrial district, the neon hum of a broken billboard cuts through the midnight fog. Detective Miller steps over a fresh pool of blood, his flashlight beam slicing through the dark. The victim is gone, but the killer left something behind. Nailed to the brick wall is a single, handwritten note, completely dry despite the pouring rain. Miller pulls on his latex gloves and carefully detaches the paper. He shines his light on the messy ink. It reads, "I am the architect of your worst nightmares, detective. You found my canvas. Now, let's see if you can solve the puzzle before the clock runs out." Miller's blood runs cold. This isn't a random street crime. This is the first move in a calculated game, and the killer is already watching from the shadows. Narrator. Back at the precinct, the atmosphere is suffocating. The yellow fluorescent lights of the bullpen flicker against the dark windows, mirroring the chaos inside Detective Miller's mind. On the chalkboard, the clues are sparse. A missing persons report filed exactly 24 hours ago, an empty alleyway, and a letter signed by a ghost. Miller stares at the photocopy of the cryptic note. The handwriting analysis just came back from the lab, and the results are baffling. The ink used isn't commercial. It's an old chemical formula common in the late 1970s. Suddenly, Miller's desk phone rings, piercing the quiet room. He picks up the receiver. There's nothing but heavy breathing on the other end, followed by the faint sound of a ticking clock. Then, a distorted voice speaks. "Tick-tock, Miller. You're looking at the past, but your time is running out in the present." Before Miller can trace the line, the call goes dead. The game has officially begun. Scene 3. The first clue. Morning brings no relief to the city. The rain has stopped, replaced by a thick, gray fog that hangs low over the Puget Sound. Detective Miller stands at the docks, watching the crime scene investigators pull a waterlogged sedan from the harbor. Inside the trunk, they find another box. A retro cassette player sits inside, with a tape already loaded. Miller clicks the play button. Static fills the damp air, followed by a low, rhythmic clicking sound. It's a grandfather clock. Then, the same voice from the telephone speaks, whispering a set of geographical coordinates. The killer isn't just playing a game. He's leading Miller on a tour of Seattle's darkest history. Scene 4. The timeline discovery. Miller rushes back to the archive room at the precinct, the air thick with the smell of old paper and dust. He pulls the ledger files from 1974, exactly 20 years prior. As he maps out the coordinates on a massive corkboard, the pattern emerges. Every location left by the killer matches an unsolved disappearance from 2 decades ago. The original detective on those cases was Miller's own mentor, a man who took his secrets to the grave. The realization drops like a lead weight in Miller's chest. The killer isn't just targeting random victims. He is resurrecting a ghost from the past to settle a personal score with the department. Scene 5. The confrontation in the dark. Midnight. The storm returns with a vengeance, rattling the windows of an abandoned watchtower on the edge of the city. Miller stands inside, his gun drawn, his flashlight beam slicing through the shadows. The ticking clock sound from the cassette tape echoes through the empty concrete room, but there is no clock here. Suddenly, a shadow moves near the rusted iron stairwell. Miller calls out, demanding the figure step into the light. Instead, a tape recorder on the floor clicks off, and the room plunges into total silence. A cold breath hits the back of Miller's neck, and a low voice whispers from the dark, "You're exactly where your mentor stood 20 years ago, Miller. Let's see if you make the same choice." Scene 6. The cliffhanger outrow. The flashlight drops to the concrete floor, its beams spinning wildly before flickering out. Blackness swallows the room. On YouTube, a dark screen appears with a lone, ticking clock. Sound effect fading into the distance. Narrator. Who is the architect behind Seattle's most calculated game? And what dark secret did Detective Miller's mentor hide before his death? The answers lie buried in the past, but time is running out. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below with your theories. The investigation continues.